Who am I supposed to trust when everyone sees me as a means to their ends? Where am I supposed to go when I don't exist? How do I know where I belong when I don't even know who I am? I have no real name. I'm just a number to them, a weapon, a pawn in a war I don't want to be involved in. Division M and the Prime Syndicate are two sides of the same coin. They exist because of each other. I exist because of them. I was supposed to be a solution, a way towards peace. But I'm just another problem, a liability, a mistake. I have more enemies than I can count. What am I supposed to do? I can't do this alone. I need friends.
Woo! There we go. There we go. I need friends. Everyone needs friends, guys. Welcome to another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their campaigns and their lives and the creations and the projects, because people often invite me to their channels and offer me their time on their platforms, and I appreciate it, and I want to do something in return for this indie community. All right, guys. I try usually to start with a little update. I don't think I have one particular today. I did a spontaneous stream yesterday because I discovered that it seems like my campaign, Perfect 10, is kind of difficult to find. Maybe on Indiegogo it could be shadow banned. But then some people told me they could find it through the search engine. So I'm not sure yet. So Indiegogo support has the information. I contacted them. So let's see if there's something wrong and if they can solve it. Anyway, guys, let's see who is with us today in the chat. We have Darkside, Marinus. Darkside is comics. Welcome, Marinus. Marinus does. I watched your review today, Marinus. Your comic book review every day. Marinus does comic book reviews on his own channel. Darkside is comics. So subscribe to him, guys. Subscribe to him. And then we have Mike. Welcome, Mike. Always good to see Mike. Yeah. Let me see who else we have here. We have Roland. Roland, where's Roland? I saw Roland. Roland, welcome, Roland. Hello, hello. How are you doing, sir? And Gordon, good brother. Long time no see, Gordon. Good to see you back, man. Awesome. Oh, wait. Mike reminds me the weekly ticker reminder to Mr. Brink. Pre-show. Yes, thank you very much. We will do the ticker in a minute. Because the guest that we had planned, he canceled in the last hour because he reconsidered his campaign. He wanted to cancel the campaign and restart when he was better prepared. So I told him, that's cool. Let me know when you restart it, and we will do it another time. So to be continued. But luckily we had someone else who wanted to be a guest today to fill in. So, and it's not every day that I have someone who does animation as a guest. So that is pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. It's something else. It's something new. We love that. So let's just bring him on, guys. Welcome to the show, Fresher Luke.
Hello.
Hello, Luke.
Hello.
Welcome, man.
Thank you.
Welcome.
This is the only stream I could get on these days.
Really? What?
Everyone's booked out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got lucky that the spot opened up, and I'm very happy that you wanted to be on, man. Because I checked out your campaign. It looks cool. It looks interesting.
Thank you.
And as I said, I don't get the chance to talk to animators many times.
Really? I would have thought animators you would be surrounded by them.
Well, yeah, sometimes they just want to make animations for me, and that's something else. I can't really afford it. But you have your own thing going on, your own project.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yes.
Okay, Luke. Before we officially start, I usually ask my guests because this is a drink with Brink. So, what are you drinking?
The tears of fallen children.
All right.
I don't know how else to answer that. I'm simply an honest businessman, and I don't really drink. So
you don't really drink. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, being a businessman, it's hard for me to, liquids just kind of like run through me, as you can tell from the suit.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Okay. So your Fresher Luke is you as an animated skeleton.
No, I mean, people get that make that mistake often. I'm not a skeleton. I'm just an honest businessman.
Right. All right.
Hence the suit and tie.
So what's the business you are in?
I'm in the business of promoting this new campaign called Random Saga.
Excellent. By the way, Fresher Luke.
Yes.
Do you watch the Netflix show The Sandman?
I know of it. I've seen clips of it. I don't have a Netflix account, but I know of that show. I have seen a lot of clips of it, and it looks very good. Why do you ask?
Because you do animation, right?
Correct.
And we have in the chat Roland Lammers, and Roland Lammers did animation for that particular show.
Oh, cool.
He is an animator too, and he worked on episode 11, which starts with an animated sequence with cats.
Oh, that one where
the
what is it?
It's called something with a thousand cats.
Yeah, like the Oriental cat goes to meet Dream when he is in his original form as a cat because he started out as a cat. Yeah.
So I told Roland today there will be this animator, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be watching this." So
sweet.
All right, man.
Well, he did very good work. I will say that's some very good animation and good business.
Good business too.
Yes.
All right. So, so I take it you want to make money, right? With your animation.
Well,
It's
I
beyond
mean,
hobby.
I wouldn't be a good businessman if I didn't want to make money.
Exactly, exactly. So what got you into animation?
Well, I guess the movie Akira,
Oh,
if I'm gonna boil it down to, just things in a nutshell. But I
right,
mean that's kind of being reductive. Uh, I mean, I've always been obsessed with animation ever since I was really small. Well, I mean, it is a fitted suit, Roland. So, but uh, yeah, I mean, I would watch all kinds of stuff. Living in Australia, we were very lucky. We'd get um, a mix of different content from different countries. So a lot of stuff from Britain and Europe, a lot of stuff from Japan, and a lot of stuff from America.
right.
Just because there is kind of no real higher culture in Australia. It's mostly just sports and barbecues down there.
Right,
And
right.
so they would just be like, well, we'll just buy a bunch of shows just to entertain the masses, the penal colony masses. And
Yes.
so I was very lucky. I kind of got a mix of all these different kind of influences. And I would watch everything from like Robotech, Sailor Moon, He-Man, Super Ted, Astro Boy, and just and Care Bears. Just if it was animated, I wanted to see it. I was like enthralled with it and storytelling from a very early age. And then
Right.
when I got older, this movie came out on VHS at my local Blockbuster. We had a Blockbuster in Australia, strangely enough, and it was called Akira. And I was like, "What is this?" And I saw it, and it blew my mind. It was so different. And so it was that point I was like, "I want to make a movie like that." And
Right.
now I'm here.
Yes. We have in the chat Talafer. Talafer. I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly, right?
I think it's
17.
Teal Alpha,
Tilafer. All right.
maybe.
Fresher Luke, you have another stream in 2 hours, right?
Correct. On my
Yes.
channel, Pressure Luke.
Yes, you have your own channel. Go
Yes.
check that out, guys. The link to his channel is in the description of this video, so you can find it easily. Welcome to the show, Tilafer. Welcome, welcome. Roland Lammers asks, are you a fan of Cartoon Saloon?
I'm not familiar with them, so I can't really answer that question.
No.
Are they a
Right,
studio in Ireland? They sound familiar.
right. All right. So you're from Australia, you said, right?
Correct.
Uh, do they make animation also there or
Well, it's kind of like a non-industry. There's like one or two studios. Flying Buck is one of them. I think another one is Studio Ludo, and they make Bluey, and that's about it from what I can tell. Oh, it is.
Hmm,
All right, it is an Irish. Yeah, that's why I thought I recognized them.
right?
Um, so yeah, it's like there is a little bit of it, but it's like basically non-existent. It's like the smallest industry out there. So
Yes,
yeah,
right. Roland says, I love the character design of your Random Saga.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
excellent.
appreciate that.
People are already checking out your campaign. Seems like it. Right. So you wanted to work in animation. Did you go to school for it or something?
I did, yes. I studied for 3 years. I got a bachelor's degree in animation,
Hmm.
and I mean, I can't give away too much because obviously there are people out there who don't really like me very much. I think you know the ones I'm talking about online, and they tend to take anything I say and use it to dig into my background and try and dig up dirt to use against me, which is kind of seems to be the landscape of the internet right now.
Right.
But yeah, I did go to school. I have a degree, and I have over 10 years experience working in the entertainment field in various aspects.
Right. So what kind of projects did you work on?
Well, the ones of most notice or notary I don't know how else to pronounce it. Was I worked at Cartoon Network on Ben 10, Ultimate Alien. I did some freelance on Steven Universe, Generator
Oh, wow.
Rex. I've done storyboard work on BM Puppycat, if you'd heard of that one.
No.
Oh, that was like a popular internet one done through Frederator. I worked on the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series on the first season.
Wow.
What else? I worked on Justice League Trapped in Time, the direct to video animation quote unquote movies that Warner Brothers does.
Wow.
I worked on Dawn of the Croods for DreamWorks TV. I done a bunch of freelance for a bunch of other small projects like Black Dynamite. I worked on Nico and the Sword of Light. I've worked on, there's so many I've worked on. Just recently, I finished working on doing storyboards for the new Usagi Yojimbo one, where it's like set in the future, and the main character is one of his descendants. And that was on Netflix.
Right.
Yeah, and I've done a bunch of other stuff for other studios here and there, like freelance stuff that I can't mention just for NDA subjects. But I do have an IMDb, so you could probably go check that out at some point.
But your name there is probably not Fresh or Luke, right?
It's probably not, but we won't go there.
All right. Yeah. I get it.
It's easy to find.
Yes. So in this industry, are mostly freelancers that work there?
No. So in the American industry, it's union, and that has its benefits and its drawbacks as well. But there also are, even though it is union, they still need people to fill in. So there's like always room, or they need like a freelancer now and then to either they're behind on schedule, or they just need someone to pick up the slack. And I used to be the guy that they would call if they were behind schedule, because I had a bit of a reputation for my work was good, and I would always bring it in on time, to the point where they'd be like, "Oh, we're back on schedule now. It's thanks to you."
Yes, thanks to you. Excellent.
So yeah, I enjoyed that for at least a couple of years, where they're like, "Call that guy. He's really good, and he always gets us back on schedule." So it's a mixed bag.
Right. 24 Eyes. Hey, 24 Eyes, welcome.
Oh, that's a lot of owls. Is that 24 owl eyes there?
Eyes, no. Outcast, owls alive. Yes.
Okay.
It should be more owls.
Should be, yeah.
I think. Anyway, welcome, sir. Yeah, cool. So you do a lot of freelance work. So you're probably very busy. It's a very you have a lot of deadlines. So constantly people know how to find you, how to contact
you. Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I got my Twitter, which I'm sure you've left a link below, and yes, I've got my email address in my bio. So yes, I am very easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely, very few people are willing to find me. I wonder why.
No, but you're a freelancer, right? Is it tough? Yeah, do you get plenty of work?
I mean, I get enough to get by, not as much as I used to. It's a whole other deal I won't get into, just because of the way things are right now, as I'm sure you're aware. But I'm mostly a freelancer these days.
Right. Sumo Thori. Hey, welcome, Sumo. Welcome, sir. Shadowhawk Talks is also here.
Hey.
Hello, Shadowhawk Talks.
It's my people.
Yes, sir. So we can talk a little bit about the state of the industry, right? Because this is kind of part of your decision to make your own thing.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, that's probably a big decision, actually.
Right. Yes. There is a trailer. I think it's the main trailer on your own campaign, right?
So there's two trailers.
Explains it.
There's the one where I'm just talking, which is kind of like low budget. And then there's the you can sort of see the image behind me right now. That's the early test footage that I've kind of compiled to sort of show what stage the animated short is at. So we could probably play that one.
We can play that one. I have it ready here. I think it's called the promo, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. All right, let's check it out.
Wow, that was good quality.
Yeah, that looks great.
Thank you. No, I meant the playback quality. I mean, obviously, I'm biased.
Yeah,
I think my own
I
work
downloaded
looks
it. Yeah, I tried to download it, and I couldn't do it with your official campaign. I got this message that there was copyrighted material in there, so I couldn't download it. But
interesting. All right.
Sometimes that happens.
Good old Indiegogo playing shenanigans.
Yeah, Ronald Lammers says definitely a Cartoon Network style.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's not a compliment.
Because it's the whole CalArts meme. But I challenge you, Roland, to show me where the bean heads and bean mouths are. That's my challenge to you.
Right. David Feed is here. Welcome, David. He says,
I wonder what he's eating.
What he's eating, yeah, David Feed.
David Feed, yeah.
I love how soothing the music is. Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, I was just trying to make it chill, just so you could sit back and enjoy the visuals as much as you could.
Right. So the character designs, you did everything yourself. So the background, the characters, the animation.
Yeah, the storyboards, the most of the writing. I did have a collaborator for all the scripts. But yeah, mostly everything is done by me.
Right. Tal Affer, sorry man, says more like the Gummy Bears than Cartoon Networks.
I loved Gummy Bears.
Yes.
And I do like Gummy Bears as well. They're very good.
As well.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But it was a good show.
Right. So you wanted to make your own thing. You have the skills for it. Did you already have this idea for that sometimes that you think I'm going to make something sometimes, and for years this little concept is brewing there, and finally you can make it.
Right? Yeah, I mean, more or less. The thing that sort of kicked us off, and you could probably post the link to it, was an animated short I did for Nickelodeon back in 2017 that was rather unceremoniously cancelled.
Dungeon Crawlers?
Yeah, we don't have to play it, but you can leave a link. It's kind of like the proof of concept.
Right. I'll share the link. Right.
But I'd always kind of had this idea of like these four misfit characters kind of banding together and learning from each other and sort of pursuing their dreams while living in a hostile world. And I guess I still am obsessed with this idea, just because like I know it through and through, inside and out, like who the characters are, what the setting is, the trials and tribulations they go through, and sort of like the themes that I wanted to explore.
Right. I have put it in the chat, guys. You can check it out. Doesn't have to be right now because it's over 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this was the kind of theme that you liked. You wanted to make something like that, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and I wanted to make something that was free of agenda, that was
mhm.
just purely about character development and plot and story, and sort of us following along these characters as they grow as individuals and learn and become better due to their trials that they go through. I've kind of been disillusioned by the current mainstream industry just because they seem to have thrown all those major principles out the window. One of the other things is like I want to aim this at all ages, so kids and parents and families can sit down and watch it and not have to worry about any kind of agenda being pushed on them. I mean, parents. My plan is obviously, parents can feel good about leaving their kids with Random Saga to watch and not have to worry about anyone on the other end of it trying to put certain ideas in their heads, which have found like a lot of modern animation for kids has been doing rather
Right,
dubiously, for lack of a better term. So
right.
that's sort of the I guess the mo. I don't know how else to describe it. That's sort of the motivation
Yeah.
for me. The other big motivation for me wanting to make this as well.
Yes. Well, that's very important. It used to be normal that you just made
Yeah,
made pure escapism and something safe for the children.
exactly.
Also,
And
I,
that's what I want to do here. I want to get everything back to basics, back to good storytelling.
mhm,
Um, yeah, and also, the first rule of animation is knowing who your target audience is, and they've seemed to
right,
have gotten that as well. So,
right.
oh yes, the critical drinker. I love that. The message.
He is good. Yeah. Roland Lammers asks, what stage is your animation phase now? I see some blocking and layout design.
Yeah, so the stage it has right now, like basically 95% of the storyboards for this 10-minute animated short are done. All the scratches recorded. Most of the early test footage you saw in that clip was just that early test footage, just me, testing things out, trying to get my head around Toon Boom Harmony. I'm still kind of new to it, but I'm getting better at it. And just
Mhm.
seeing what works and what I can get away with as a one-man band animating this.
Right, right. So it's it's a short animation, so it's 10 minutes, and
Yeah,
that's a complete story. Or are
yeah,
you do
complete.
you want to extend it to a series, for instance?
I mean, obviously, I would love that. I mean, that would take a lot of money, and
Yes.
because I would need to hire a lot more people.
Hmm.
But having said that, I've got this 10-minute animated short that I'm trying to fund, and I also have another 10-minute animated short where the script is basically written, hasn't been storyboarded yet. Um, and I have another 20-minute animated short. Uh,
Oh, wow.
After that, that's the thumbs are done and the script is done, and most of the scratch is recorded for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Uh,
do have big plans for it. It's just obviously me wanting to crowdfund it. I'm trying to raise funds to, I guess, fund the production, to hire on more good artists, and help me get this done in a much more timely manner.
yes. Because how much time does it take you to make this 10-minute animation?
Well, I mean, that's part of the, I guess, the process, me figuring out how much time it takes me to do something like that, and obviously like changing things up. So rather than doing like key poses and in betweens, it'll just be like the animation will just be like pose to pose and more like strong drawings and good draftsmanship.
Mhm.
um, so I've kind of already tried that with I'm sure you're familiar with my previous campaign that was successful, Forsaken Gods.
I am not. I'm
Okay.
sorry to say.
Well, anyway, you could
Yes.
probably find it through Indiegogo. I did two
Mhm.
previous campaigns for a comic book called Forsaken Gods, also fantasy based. And for the second campaign, I did an animated trailer for it. And
Mhm.
that was kind of like a test run to see what I could do. But that was like me pushing it to the limits as much as I could. And that was like 1 minute, and that took about 6 months.
Wow.
So every time I do it, I learn a little bit more. So I'm trying to see if I can beat that record or at least get close to it. So the plan is to try and get 10 minutes worth of animation done in 6 months.
Right. Wow. Roland says, don't you want to get an animation producer to help you get the funds?
Sure, but I don't know any good animation producers who are against the quote-unquote message.
Right. Yes.
They're very hard people to find.
Yeah. So Roland, if you can help Luke,
Yeah,
please connect him with some people. You never know, man.
yeah, that'd be great. I'm down. I mean, if they're unwoke and totally cool, I'm totally for it.
Yes.
You just go to my Twitter, and my email is in the bio, and you can shoot me an email, and we'll talk. We can at least talk. I always like meeting interesting and talented animators.
Exactly. Talaver says, Fresh Luke need a pirate crew to make a series. Baby steps. Find the One Piece.
Well, whoever this Fresh Luke is, I hope that he achieves his goal.
Yes. You can do it, Fresh Luke.
Yeah, we believe in you, Fresh Luke.
Yes.
Take it from the fresher Luke.
David Feed asks, a lot of questions today. This is great, guys. Keep them coming. David Feed asks, are you planning to animate Forsaken Gods?
Oh, yes, I would love to do that. The thing is, Forsaken Gods is incredibly ambitious.
Right.
And so that would be like something where I would need a shit ton of money and really talented people, and basically like form like, I don't know, some kind of studio or something in order to do it, just because it's like it's so big and so epic and so ambitious. That's the only way I could feasibly do it. So I'm starting small with Random Saga, just something small, something simple, and just kind of like learning the ropes and getting my feet back on track with it.
Right. Because Forsaken Gods is a comic book, right?
Yeah.
So you also drew comics.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably click on it if you want. I don't know. Nah, we should just down this. But yeah, I did like, and actually, it's shipping out right now. Chapters 1 and 2 of it. There's more chapters in the works. But yeah, it's just talking about it briefly. It's about this young female archaeologist. She goes into all these dungeons looking for artifacts, trying to piece together the reasons behind a great war that happened between the gods like decades earlier. Mm-hmm. And she inadvertently awakens this flaming, screaming skull that's encased in this magical piece of armor called Skull Knight. And because she has awoken him, he is now duty-bound to follow her around and follow her commands. But she doesn't understand that at first, and so she thinks he's trying to kill her. So she's running away from him, and he's kind of like running after her.
Right.
And yeah, it just goes crazy from there, because then the gods like discover that Skull Knight has awoken, so they start mobilizing their forces to try to kill Samara, the archaeologist, and him.
Right.
Skull Knight. Yeah.
So Forsaken Gods is probably something you wanted rather to have an animation, but because it takes a lot of resources and time, you turn it into this comic book.
Basically, yeah, because it's so ambitious. Like, comics are great
right.
if you have an ambitious idea. It's very easy to sort of realize those ambitious ideas. Yes. Whereas animation, it's a bit of a higher entry point, I find. So I'm just sort of starting. That's why the characters in Random Saga look a little simpler. And, you know, there's a bit more humor in it, and it's more character-driven rather than, say, big epic action sequences, though I would like to eventually have stuff like that in Random Saga, where the characters kind of like become more able and more capable at what they do.
Right, yes. 10-minute animation is not small to start off.
Well, it is for me, bucko.
Sumothori says, Fresher Luke, are you marketing this to the D&D crowd at all? That seems like a perfect fit for this.
I've tried. I don't know where to. You know what I mean? It's like this
marketing stuff.
Yeah, it's marketing stuff, which I'm not good at. Yes. I'm doing my best. I did go on one stream but it's like it's really hard to find those guys with more than like say 5,000 subscribers or something. I find like going on streams and marketing it that way is like the most cost effective because it's like 1 hour. And but yeah, I've been looking. I've messaged some bigger channels that focus on D&D, but of course they don't get back to me. So
Right. So what's your plan with this animation? You're going to make this animation.
yes.
Then what? How are you going to get it to reach the audience that you're looking for?
Good question. I mean, I have a YouTube channel.
Right.
But that's a really good question. I don't think I have a proper answer for that.
All
Do you have some suggestions?
Yeah, that's always difficult, man. Finding audience. The same with comics. It's
Yeah.
it's breaking out of that circle you already have.
Yeah, fine. But that's the other thing. It's like I do struggle trying to, because the internet is like a vast sea of information and noise that it's almost impossible to stand out from these days and find those people. Because I know they're out there. I know there's that audience of people who have no idea this is going on right now,
Right.
who are living, peaceful lives.
Yes.
And, if only I could somehow get it in front of their eyes, I'm sure they would like it and want to back it. But yeah, it's really hard to penetrate this glass wall that seems to be getting thicker every day.
Right. Yes. And there's so much also, man. There's so much good stuff being produced, but also bad stuff. So you know how to, yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the characters. For instance, you here have the design for the wizard lizard. So how did you come up with the characters? What are their roles?
So I don't know, the characters, generally the way I come up with characters, I tend to just start with sketches and think, oh, this guy looks funny, I wonder what he's all about, and then I just kind of like develop from there. So but in regards to wizard lizard, he's kind of like the brains of the group. I kind of like try and think of characters and how they kind of interact with each other and where they sit on the spectrum of different traits, so to say. So Wizard Lizard he's like the brains of the group. He has a lot of systematic knowledge, a lot of technical knowledge. But
it started with systemic, and I got worried.
I know, sorry, I mispronounced. I meant systematic.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's like two aspects in regards to people's understanding of the world. There's systematic intelligence, and then there's like emotional intelligence, right? And so that's kind of where I start when I say, kind of like the spectrum of traits, and obviously people sit somewhere between those two extremes. And so obviously Wizard Lizard sits towards more the systematic or systemized intelligence. Like he's very logical, and he's very cerebral, but he has very low emotional intelligence. And so in a sense, because of that, he's very grumpy, and he's kind of comes off as a bit of a jerk. But he is but that also means he's very dutiful, and he's very, very much an A-type person. He's very organized and stuff like that. So he's kind of like the de facto leader of them. And he has this whole character arc where he kind of has to learn to sort of understand and empathize with, the other members of the group in order to become a better leader. Because when we first meet him, he kind of like is kind of mean to them and kind of doesn't really take what they have to say seriously when they're trying to tell him something important. And so that's sort of his whole development arc, you know what I mean? Like kind of like breaking out of sort of this, I guess it's his blind spot, sort of understanding others. Because the other thing is he's a lizard who hails from a race of lizard people who don't like magic. And so he's kind of had to strike out, leave that society and strike out on his own to gain more knowledge to become a better wizard, because he's just wants to be a wizard, right?
Right.
And so awesome. That's his whole thing.
Excellent. Tony Horton is here. Welcome, Tony.
Hello.
He says, "Hello guys, hope all is well with you. Shoebox Heroes 2019." Ooh, Shoebox Heroes. I think that's Tony's own label. Cool. David Feet says Adam Lawson has made his own RPG and or maybe Findish Irene.
Fiendish.
are
He's talking about
fiendish,
Irene
right, all right.
Straczynski.
Yes.
Look, I've messaged Irene. She doesn't get back to me, so I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. She seems busy.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you have the Wizard Lizard, cool character. And then you have this guy is called Marigold.
Yes. So Marigold is kind of like the big brother of the group.
Right.
And he's a young man that was raised in a magical forest by fairies and other magical creatures. And once he hit puberty, they had to cast him out and tell him to go live with his own humankind. And so because he was raised in a magical forest, he's
very gentle.
He's very gentle and a bit of a wimp. He doesn't like violence, which is kind of unfortunate because he has like Herculean strength.
Yes.
But he just doesn't know how to use it. And so his whole thing is learning to grow from being a boy, which he is right now when we first meet him, and becoming a man. And sort of like learning to, I guess, fight for the things that are important for him. Like sometimes, violence is a reality of the world, whether we like it or not. And so he's kind of got to learn that, he can't shrink away from challenges. He has to be bold and be a bit more assertive as a result.
Right. He lived a very sheltered life.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. So but the thing is, despite his drawbacks, he is very noble and he is very kind. And he can talk to animals. So he's and he has a bit of a destiny as well that he has to fulfill. So he's a very important character. He's probably one of my favorite characters. I like them all because I created them all. But
of course, yeah.
It's
usually it's a dynamic also between the characters, right? You have these different characters, and the combination makes it work. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Like they all have different quirks and traits, and how they relate to each other is kind of like part of the interesting thing I find about groups of characters. The same with the Ninja Turtles. Like the Ninja Turtles all have like different aspects to their personalities, and yet they're still able to work together despite their differences. So
yes,
yeah.
All right, then they have Aphid.
Aphid, yeah.
Aphid, okay.
Aphid. It's all good.
All good.
So she's a young imp white orphan girl who's grown up on the streets of the city that the group live in her whole life. And
what's the city called?
So the city is called El Bazaar.
El Bazaar.
And it's this I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like this commerce city that's kind of like this mix of all these different races of creatures like imp-white humans and lizards, as we see here. And one of the main forms of economy in the city is there's these adventurers who join these adventurer guilds, and they go out and raid these dungeons for like loot and treasure, and artifacts, and they bring them back and they sell them at these various pawn shops in exchange for money. And it's kind of like oil drilling, but with monsters and traps.
Right. Yes.
And so that's kind of the backstory as to why these four characters kind of like banded together, because in order to get a license to go out and do that kind of work, they have to have like a minimum of 4 people in their group, just because it's regulated. So, but Aphid's grown up on the streets of that city, and in order to survive, she's had to learn to lie, cheat, and steal. And so she's imp whites are small, but she's particularly small for an imp white, and so she gets bullied a lot. And so she kind of like joins them because obviously they're bigger. And so there's like safety in numbers. And at first she kind of like uses the other members of the group for like her various schemes, and that gets them in trouble. And so they kind of have to tell her, knock it off. That's not a very good way of going about, navigating the world. And so she kind of like learns to be less of a selfish and troublesome person, and learns to grow up and become more responsible and more forthright in her actions, and being less less destructive on her pathway. And in a sense, she's kind of got the biggest arc, because it's kind of like learning how to grow up, because obviously kids are mischievous when they're young because they don't know any better. And so it's up to obviously older people, the other characters who are older than her, to sort of teach her a better way.
Right. Yeah. You gave them all opportunities to learn and to grow. This is
Exactly.
great.
Yeah.
Yes. Talafer says, I'm getting Wizard of Oz vibes with this.
Thank you, but there is no yellow brick road, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately. All right. Then we have Rexton the dog.
Yes, the most mysterious member of the group. And the most capable. He saves their lives a lot.
All right. Yes.
But I think all I can really say about Rexton is he's a great dog and he's a good boy and he's kind of like the emotional glue that holds them all together.
Right. So did you because in the background I noticed there's a lot of world building going on, right? So
Correct.
did you have the world and from that came the characters, or is it the other way around?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the world that I created in Forsaken Gods because it's set in the same
Oh, it's the same
world.
universe?
Well, same world. The world is called Epic Earth, and
Oh.
it's my own kind of fantasy world that I've created.
Right.
And so, Random Saga takes place many, many, many years after the events of Forsaken Gods.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's great. So the story-wise, it's not connected, but in the world you can see a few things.
In a way, it is connected, but yeah, it is. It's kind of its own thing as well. Yeah.
Right. So what is the story? What is the story of this short animation?
So for this one, it's very simple. Aphid is caught cutting up the furniture, looking for change because she doesn't understand how furniture works. And when the others see what's happened, she blames the dog, and so they kick the dog out of the apartment. It's kind of like the running joke, like the other characters do something bad, and then Wizard Lizard kicks them out.
Right.
And so then they got to get back into the apartment somehow and get back into his good graces. And so they kick the dog out, and then she confesses, says, "Oh, it was me. I was the one who cut up all the furniture." And so they have to go out and search for the dog, look for the lost dog, and but as they do so, they discover an ancient evil that has been lurking underneath the streets of their neighborhood.
Oh,
yes,
exciting! Oh, look at this! This is some background.
Yeah, so this is some of the concept work that I did when I was developing this. This was the first version of the pawn shop that they live above, called the Quest and Loan.
Right.
And as you can see,
so you also have the pawn shop owner, probably that they.
Yeah, he's like he's
a
like a supporting character, and he makes like a brief appearance in the short as well. Mr. Creosote is his name. And right. He's your atypical dime pinching kind of pawn shop owner. He's like someone comes in with like a very valuable artifact. And he's like, yeah, I'll give you like $5 for it.
Yes, this is excellent. The pawn shop also itself offers you many opportunities for stories or.
Yeah. No, I mean I definitely have those in development as well, and just also really fun humor as well, like little references and stuff like that.
Right. Awesome. Such details, man. So do you know of all these artifacts, what they are, or do you just draw some random things?
Yes.
Both. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Okay. What is this? This is something you can get when you're back.
Yeah, so these are some of the physical rewards on offer. You get stickers, you get a t-shirt, there's a 10-page comic book, there's a behind-the-scenes art book.
Oh, you get a comic book also? That's awesome.
Yeah, 20-page comic book, sorry, my fault.
Wow.
But yeah, besides that behind-the-scenes art book, digital download, art postcards, sticker sets, I already said that, pin sets, and here's the first page of the comic book right there. That's the new shop design that I've gone with in that bottom panel there. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so Wizard Lizard kind of like works there to help pay the rent, but because he's so cerebral, he's just bored all the time, so he just sleeps.
So is this comic book drawn? Is it done?
It's in the process of being drawn right now. The plan is once this gets funded, I'll finish the comic book and get all the merch done and get that sent out straight away. And then the work on the short will commence. And yeah. Thank you.
Right. Quest and Loan. Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't think of any other best way, a better name. So
usually, I talk with people who make comic books and try to gather funds to produce that.
yeah,
It's you gathering funds for the animation, but the comic book is being made to reward the backers.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Something extra.
I understand most backers want like a physical reward, having done a comic book one or two comic book crowdfunds myself.
Yeah.
So they want something physical. So I was like, well, I got to offer them something, and plus, it's a good little incentive of like, buy the comic book and help fund the animation. So
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Some extra art here. You can check out the campaign, guys. The link is pinned in the chat. You can go to the page. Okay. Let's see what you have for perks here.
I've got a lot.
The gold rank, the featured perk.
Yeah, so this is the featured one. This is where it's a good middle rank where you get a nice mix of the physical rewards that I already talked about, like the art book, the comic book, plus a lot of the digital rewards, like the online link to the private screening, the digital download of the 10-minute short, sticker sets, and the postcard. So
right. I can see you that I cannot get it. I'm in Europe.
Well, let's keep going because there is a reward tier for guys like you.
All right. For guys like me, awesome. So beginner rank.
Yeah, that's just you're basically buying a ticket for the private online screening.
Excellent.
So
cool.
That just is a little something. I know some people, times are tough, wallets are tight. So if you can spare $5, you get a private screening, and there's going to be like an after show where I talk to people that I collaborated with on this.
Oh wow! And, so it's not just a link so you can watch it, but it has this specific release date and time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there will be like a screening time and day once it's done, obviously, and and then if stick around and we'll talk about it, and you can get more insights into everything.
Right.
Well, thank you, Roland. Roland's like the best animator I've met in a long time. Yeah. He's talented and very cool.
Yeah. Your experience with other animators is not that positive.
Let's say when I first got to America, it was fine, but then it slowly devolved as time went on. As I'm sure you're all aware, everything kind of just started to unravel around 2015, 2016.
Yes. Well, this is why you get a lot of people doing their own thing.
Well, it's easy. It's easier now than ever,
Right.
Just the way with everything technology is developing, and just with streams like this, it can be done. And I'm interested in giving it a try, a good old college try.
Yes, sure, man. Well, you got the skills. You got some cool stuff going on here. Bronze rank. What do you get with bronze?
So with the bronze rank, it's kind of like the base rank. You get a sticker set, art postcard. Those are the two physicals, and obviously the online link for the screening. But you also get a digital download link so that you can have a digital copy of the 10-minute animated short as well.
Awesome. Right.
So here we come to yours.
Woo! Finally. Yes.
So this is the digital rank. Obviously, given the supply chain crisis ramifications, I understand people like yourself. It's hard to get stuff to guys like you out in Europe and elsewhere. So this ranks for you. You get all of the rewards, but in digital download form. So you get the comic, you get the art book, you get a digital wallpaper, you get the movie download, and the online link to the screening. And I will say, I want to add all of these tiers. If you back them, you will get your name in the credits as a backer, guaranteed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that I notice: are you counting on taking 4 years to make this animation? I see here that you estimated shipping, which there is no shipping, but it says here 2026.
Yeah, well, that's just to give me a little bit of runway.
Right.
Obviously, I'm going to be trying. Obviously, it's me. It's just me.
Yes, yes.
But
I get it.
and this is my first animation crowdfund, and I just want to. I've done in my first comic crowdfund. I said it would be due at a certain date, and it ended up running 6 months over, so I was 6 months late technically.
Right.
I don't like sort of like missing my deadlines.
Mhm.
Luckily, the second campaign I got it just in under the deadline, so this time I'm kind of giving myself a little more runway. Just obviously because I've got to get the book done and the merch done and get that shipped out, and then I got to work on the actual thing itself. And if it exceeds the amount, I got to like organize getting other animators to help me work on stuff and getting scenes prepped and stuff like that. It takes a lot of time. Like
Yes.
a lot of hard work and elbow grease goes into making like even 1 minute of animation.
Right.
But I am trying to expedite the process. So my plan is to get it done before the 2026 deadline that I have here. But it's just to temper expectations. I understand it is a bit of a ways away.
Yes.
But
And
those are my
you have to do this at the side, right? You have your own main.
yeah. I've
work.
got like bill paying work as well.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah.
Roland.
Oh, good old Roland. What's he gonna say?
Roland says, I don't know in the US and why people don't like you. Here in the Netherlands, Europe, I feel the animators community is very pleasant and open.
Well, that's a whole. I feel like that's a whole other stream.
Yeah, it's maybe cultural difference also.
Yeah, there is kind of a bit of a cultural upheaval going on in the US right now. I have heard that people in the Netherlands are very based, which sounds
Right.
good to me.
Right. Roland says you mentioned it's tough to find producer because of reasons. What happened?
Yeah, I think I already answered that question with the previous answer.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Digital rank. Then we have the silver rank.
Yeah.
20-page comic, online link, plus the digital, and the sticker set and the postcard.
Yep. So you're just getting the comic there, plus all previous rewards. So that's kind of like the one just below gold, I guess, or above gold.
Right. Yes.
Silver,
Platinum.
gold, platinum. So that's the next one above gold. This one you get all the previous rewards plus an acrylic pin set.
You sound surprised.
No, I was trying to sell it. It's an acrylic pin set,
Oh,
guys.
all right. like acrylic pin set. What's
Yeah,
that
it's not one acrylic pin. It's many acrylic pins.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Then we have diamond.
Yes. So with this one, you get previous rewards. You get not only do you get an acrylic pin set, you get an acrylic keychain and an enamel pin.
Right.
If you're into that.
Of course.
One person
Some people
is.
are.
Yeah.
Sapphire. Wow. It's
yes.
even going up to Sapphire here.
So with Sapphire, you get all the previous rewards, including the pins, but you also get an exclusive patch that goes with it.
Okay. And Pearl, well, you have a lot, man.
Yeah. So the Pearl one, previous rewards, you get the patch, but you also the extras you get with this one is a standard T-shirt to whatever size that you wish. But also an associate producer credit in the credits.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of a vanity reward, I guess.
See your name scroll by. That's me. Yeah. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Obsidian.
So this one you get a special T-shirt. All the other rewards, so you get 2 T-shirts.
What's special about it?
So what's special about this T-shirt is you can choose the color.
Right.
And it's going to have a different design on it also, a much more interesting design. But on top of that, you also get a producer credit. So you're not an associate producer, you're one level above that, a producer.
Actual producer. Wow.
Actual producer.
Woo. All right. And finally, the God rank.
Yes.
Check this out.
The penultimate of all ranks.
For 3,000 guys, you can get God rank.
So God rank, you get all the other previous rewards, but on top of that, you get a special snapback hat with the Random Saga logo and graphic on it. But you also get a very exclusive executive producer credit.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you can check all this good stuff out on the campaign. The link to the campaign, like I said, is pinned in the chat, but also in the description of the video, as well as Fresher Luke's own YouTube channel. You have your own channel, right?
Correct. I also have a Twitter and a Twitch channel.
All right, I did not put in your
It's
Twitch.
fine. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. So check it out, guys. Check out this campaign. Let's just refresh. You never know.
You never know.
Let's refresh. You now have 41
maybe
backers.
Roland. Yep, still just 41. It's all right.
Oh, by the way, it's a fixed goal.
Correct.
And you have 14 days left. This is
Correct.
your first 30 days or second?
My first 30 days.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you don't make it? Your goal is fixed, right? So you have to reach 100%.
Yeah. If I don't make it, it's okay. I have a plan B. Maybe Roland is my plan B. He's my new plan B. But I mean, it's okay if it doesn't get funded. I am passionate about making this, and I do have other options, and I'm not going into this like with half closed eyes or anything like that. Like,
right.
Yeah, I have other things that other venues that maybe I could explore to get adequate funding. So
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Roland says, I know some fellow animators that animate in a familiar style of your project. So if you need some help, I can give them a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, if I would be interested, yeah, just send me, shoot me an email, send me a link to their portfolios. I would love to find new animators that are really cool and not succumbed to any kind of message that may or may not have been permeating the culture.
Right. So, Roland, if you cannot contact Fresh Luke, then maybe I can see what I can do. I can find some way to get you his email. Past Master Dan. Sorry, guys, I was a little bit distracted. Past Master Dan, you may try to contact Red Valkyrie for more exposure.
Yes, I did, and she was one of the people that was incredibly booked out for the next 3 months.
Right? Yeah, she's very busy. This is true.
I've been on her stream before, and it was always fun. But I messaged her and I said, "Hey, I messaged her a month in advance, actually."
Oh yeah.
And she was like completely booked out. I was like, "Okay, well, so much for that."
Okay. I wanted to refresh. So 41 backers. Let's refresh. You never know. And 41 backers.
41 backers. Woo!
You didn't lose any, so that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Well, I did, but you just don't see it.
Okay, Fresher Luke, thank you so much, man, for being my guest today and showing us your campaign and your animated works.
Thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I did have fun. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. And special thanks to the chat for everyone who showed up, for watching, for sharing, and for liking. And I always appreciate that people show up to watch us. This is remarkable. I love you guys, and I might sneak in a few more episodes of A Drink with Brink this week because it's my vacation, so I have the time right now. But in any case, I will be back next Sunday, the steady time. So next Sunday, I hope to see you guys there. Same time, same channel, new guest. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.
Stay fresh.